Okay, so welcome back to the December's podcast for Mudcast, my queens. Happy Christmas to everybody and all other stuff that's going on. Amy and I are back to discuss all kinds of stuff. How are you, Amy?
I'm all right, thanks. You fell over every single word in that intro, didn't you? Yes. Yeah, I'm all right. I am super motivated for a change. I've just handed in my PhD thesis, so I am busy. I know, busy doing all of the things that I actively put off during that time. I was basically incommunicado and completely useless. It was all I could do to go in the shower every couple of days, to be honest. And I think I slept for a grand total of about 15 hours in a week. But now that that's done, I feel very renewed and able to crack on with everything I've been putting off, because I've got no excuse anymore, really, have I?
Awesome. That is awesome. I mean, to be fair, though, it's a bit worrying that you're only showering every couple of days, considering you work with large farm animals.
Oh, you're going to get dirty anyway, aren't you? So what's the point?
Oh, I feel sorry for your housemates.
Luckily, it's largely the dog that I get to hang out with, so I'm sure she thinks it's just interesting.
Oh, lush. No, I have to say, though, I'm really impressed, because it is proper busy for you. PhD, working, trying to work out, Mudstacle, all these things going on. And you haven't spotted any grey hairs, so you seem to be doing all right.
I have 6. I routinely pull them out of my own head.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah. But you wouldn't know, because my hair's so freaking dirty.
Lush.
So, there we go. A hairdresser called it unmanageable the other day. I was like, fancy that. Unmanageable.
Wow. But I tell you what, though, the motivation thing is really good, though, because in December it can be one of the hardest times to be motivated.
Segue.
Oh,
yes. Yeah. Absolutely. I had actually noticed, though, to be fair, that you have been doing an awful lot of training, like an awful lot, and it's been all your purposeful practice stuff, and I think you've kept momentum, haven't you?
Yes and no. I think when it comes to the bouldering, we started bouldering, and it's been really enjoyable to do something that's fun, that is getting you progressing, but at the same time there's no kind of competition. There's no you're just going and doing it, and you're switching off because you have to really think about where you're placing everything. So it's actually really kind of in the moment, rather than, being able to watch, going up halfway up the wall and then looking at everybody else, go, what is everybody else doing? What are they doing? So it's really nice to do that.
It's a very focused sort of method of training, and it's one that's so social. Like I fairly regularly go down to Building 1 with whoever will come with me. I know you're well jealous of Building 1 trips. And last time I went with Claire Miller, and I went with Annie Main Woodburn, and we just hung out, But we were just seeing how far we could go up specific routes, and comparing different. Not even techniques, but just ways and means of getting up there. I'm not much of a climber, but it helps your grip strength and your confidence in your grip immeasurably.
Massively.
And at Building 1, there's that room in the back where you can just arse around and take excellent Instagram photos, which
I wouldn't know, because I've never been there.
I have this question which is somewhat philosophical. It's like, if you don't Instagram a workout, did it even happen?
Oh, I've only recently joined Instagram because I don't deal with the Mud Queen Instagram. Lucy does. But then I sometimes tweet about mine. So, that's a tough one. Throw it out to the Mud Queens, I reckon. They'll be able to tell us if it's not on Strava, did the run happen?
Well, that's an interesting thing, actually. Does it motivate you to post it online? Does it make you feel better about yourself, or does seeing other people doing workouts make you feel bad, or does it make you think, sod it, I'm going to go and do that myself? Like, how do you specifically feel about social media workouts?
I mean, to be fair, I read a study the other day, and it was saying about how the reason why people do is because it can keep them accountable, because they're
Agreed.
showing it to the whole world rather than just going, I'm going to go and do this. But then it seems more motivating to have someone else see you do it or not do it than it is not telling anybody at all. So, but I suppose it really just depends on the person.
Yeah, I mean, I know it has links to, I guess, what some people call narcissism, but I don't think you can really call it that when your Facebook is literally a page about you, and people can choose whether to consume what you put out or not. So,
I mean, studies suggest that the more narcissistic you are, the more you post. However, the less likes you get. So, but saying that about posting up, what I kind of am sometimes gutted for some people is when they post up what they're going to do, and they spend more time posting what they're going to do than actually doing it, and so it doesn't happen.
No, I mean, some people do that for accountability. Like, this month I'm going to do this. Please, if you see me, I don't know, eating yellow food, tell me not to, or
yellow food.
Yellow. Oh, it's. I don't know if anyone else calls it yellow food. Like processed carb foods.
So
like,
beige.
I don't know, cakes, muffins,
beige,
chips. Beige.
Beige food.
That
yeah.
Sounds appetising at all, mate.
Yellow food. It sounds like someone peed on it.
Oh, don't eat yellow food. But you know what I mean? Like, people will post up saying, like, if you see me, you know, moping on a Friday night, make me do 50 burpees, or like this for how many star jumps I'm going to do. I think some of those little fitness challenges that you can do in your living room and you are immediately accountable by your immediate social media circles, I think that has its place.
I think it does. But again, I think it just comes down to the mindset of the person doing it, and they need to make sure that they're doing it for the right reasons. They're not doing it for the likes, because you'll get disappointed when you don't get one.
Likes don't win races.
Ooh. Well, yeah, no. But, I mean, to be fair, though, it is harder in December because the nights are just... It's so much darker, isn't it? It's colder, although it's got a little bit warmer lately. You just don't... you just don't want to go out. It's warm in the house.
I have to say, the cold doesn't demotivate me. The cold never bothered me anyway, to quote a well-known Disney. Really, I totally went there. The cold doesn't bother me because I have nice winter gear. I'm, you know, lucky enough to have acquired or bought it. And I don't mind getting wrapped up, you know, like I've got like a gajillion buffs and stuff from various races, and I can just wrap up and get on with it. The thing that bothers me about training in the winter is that I am terrified to go out running in the dark by myself. I will do it in the light, no bother, because I just feel that little bit safer. But I, as a girl, do not feel comfortable going out running by myself when it is dark. I don't know whether anyone sees that as pathetic, but I've had, you know, bad experiences. I have been shouted at when I've been running. Every car that slows down, I wonder whether they are going to hurt me, which is a pretty sad way to live. But it's a real fear that I have, and it's why I don't go out by myself, which is why I actually this morning enlisted one of my best buddies, who actually lives around the corner from me, and I went for a run with him this morning, and there was safety in numbers. It doesn't necessarily have to be a guy, just, you know, someone else to run with just makes me feel just that little bit safer. So Adam took me out this morning to put me through my paces, really, because I'm quite a slow runner, and I will just rest on my laurels. I'll walk when I'm tired, and I don't progress at all.
But the thing is like getting someone involved. I mean, that's why we started all the virtual runs, because there was a mug queen that had been like verbally abused while she was out running and didn't want to do it anymore. So we came up with the what was the first one we did for a mile in her shoes, which is a charity London, and you know, we wanted to encourage people to actually get together and run.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I've met some mud queens through that who one of them's become pretty much my training buddy, from doing the virtual run, the first one, and then obviously we had the winter blues one, which was getting out and run, and then we've got this one coming up. So what's it called? Work for it. Which is a harder challenge. Yeah.
Work.
Anything else?
No, should I that one and let it go? Yeah. It's out there now. It's happened.
Nice. But yeah, and I think it's a really good idea because it's trying to encourage people to run together, because there are people in your area that probably would run with you if you actually find out.
Running together. They're physically running together.
Yeah.
In the packs of mud queens.
Yeah, we did that in the Fun in the Sun run.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think half the battle. I think first top tip for sort of beating demotivation December: find a running buddy.
Yeah.
Find a running buddy, and if you don't have one, really in close proximity, find a midpoint. There's bound to be a cool trail that you can do or something like that in between the two of them.
Or if you're a member of a gym, go to the gym. I know it's not the greatest going on a treadmill, but get on the treadmill. Yes, I know, but it's something.
Yeah, I guess it is something. It's just interminably boring.
Absolutely. I'm sure I've seen people reading magazines while they run, which is interesting in itself.
Admirable multitasking.
I wouldn't be able to do it. I can't even be on the phone and dress myself at the same time, so that counts me out.
How do you tie your own shoelaces?
I don't. I leave them and then just slip my feet in. Oh, good times.
Oh dear. Also, another good thing to get you out of the house is borrow a doggy, or you take your own dog out if you happen to be lucky and awesome enough to have one. But yeah, borrowing a dog is really, really motivating for getting out running.
Can you do that though? Like, how do you borrow a dog?
Borrowmydoggy.com.
Pardon?
It's a thing. Borrow my doggy. If you Google borrow my doggy, there are people who perhaps work and need dog walkers, and they get basically a free dog walk, and you get a free best friend. So,
okay.
I mean, it's foolproof, and you have to meet them. It's like dating for dogs, basically.
Wow.
Yeah.
Borrowmydoggy.com.
It might be .co.uk, but it's a thing.
All right, we'll put it in the notes at the end, just in case. Share the love of dogs.
Yeah. So yeah, finding a training buddy is a good thing. I mean, I suppose you could even find local running clubs, but I understand that when you are demotivated, something like that is massively daunting, because I've been flirting with joining my local running club for a year now, and I want to join when I am a bit better at running, which makes no sense.
That's so ridiculous. That's so. I'll go to this boot camp when I'm a little bit fitter. How are you going to get fitter? How are you going to? Ah, crap! I've knocked my tea over. How are you going to get fitter if you don't go to the boot camp to get fit? How does that work? I
said it was logical. It's just the dumbest thing. But I figured I'd rather embarrass myself in front of my mates than perfect strangers, which is maybe a bit weird, but like Adam, for instance, totally understands that I'm a bit slow and I've just been diagnosed with asthma, so it's a bit creaky and wheezy, and I'm just sort of finding my feet after being Ventolin powered. So he's like super patient with me. And Rosanna, another run buddy, she's very patient with me despite being 10 times fitter than I am, despite having a bionic knee, which is galling. So yeah, find a buddy. Also, another bad thing about December I find is obviously it's dark, and despite the safety issues that I touched on before, it's miserable, and I think a lot of people probably have either diagnosed or undiagnosed, slight or severe, seasonal affective disorder.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's completely reasonable. So seasonal affective disorder, or SAD, is characterised by a low mood in the winter months, or in the darker months, and there's, you know, a lack of sunlight, a lack of vitamin D, which is sort of necessary for all sorts of processes in the body, but also, you know, largely happiness. So I did think that maybe another way to make yourself that little bit more motivated, if you want to feel a bit happier and you want to do a run, is maybe do like a lunchtime run instead, if you can. I mean, even if you've just got a half-hour lunch break, if you do 20 minutes, like, I mean, loads of workplaces have showers and things like that now, or, you know, you can nip into your gym if it's close by for, you know, for a shower, or just have a dirty old student bath. Going for a run when there is actually sun in the sky can do wonders for you, and it's nice to see a different time of day, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's got to be good for your mood in general to get out of those four walls, get some fresh air.
Because I eat my lunch like at my desk or hurriedly in my car, and the days on which I have that spare 20 minutes to just get out and walk the dog at lunchtime, it makes my day so much nicer.
Yeah, I think it's a really good idea.
Lunch running. Do you think, because I do, that people put off fitness in December because they say, oh, I'll start in January, I'll start afresh on January?
Massively. Right, I don't understand. Right, okay, so yes, I know I don't like Christmas, and I've made that very clear to many people publicly. Thank you.
Is your heart 10 sizes too small?
Okay, moving on. No, I'm not a Grinch, but there's so many things that annoy me about Christmas, and one of them is this whole gorging situation. And it's almost like free range to gorge on whatever you want for as long as you want, and then go, oh, okay, it's fine, because January is going to be the time that I'm going to go crazy with the health and fitness.
Oh, wow, okay. So you think people are, you know, on this steep descent towards pancreatitis, and they think they're going to redeem it all in January?
Yes.
Why does that bother you? Why does it bother you what other people do?
Because they it's always, I'm going to start on Monday. I'm going to start at the beginning of the month. I'm going to start at the beginning of the year. And it's like, if you want to make a change, and if you really want to make a change, you just start.
Just do it now.
Just do it now, because guess what? You're going to be a month ahead of where you would be if you started on the Monday, or you know, a year ahead if you started in January.
You're completely right. You're completely right. Because I've had the same thought process myself. You know, I've been like, well, you know, after Christmas, after all, you know, Christmas has died down. I'll start getting sorted again. And then the other day, I just snapped out of it and was just like, this is ridiculous. Go now. Go start tomorrow. Just stop eating rubbish, because I've been eating utter crap since I got back from Worlds and just not got back on the wagon. And I've barely moved, and I've made the excuse that I've been, you know, super busy studying and writing, but it's just no excuse at all. So yeah, I decided to start now and get a bit of a jump on January, actually. You are absolutely right. I think for everyone that is feeling like next year will be better, it might not be. You know, it might be equally terrible, it might be worse, might be your year, you never know. But what I think, you should hit the ground running and get cracking now. In fact, sign up to the virtual run.
Sign up to the virtual run. It's your choice between 5 miles and 10 miles a week, every week for January. And it's not a New Year's resolution. It's it's challenging you, but it's not saying, you know, I'm going to run for the rest of the year this much or anything like that. It's literally, let's get going. And even if you started now, just to put a bit more effort into it now, it makes it easier for January. And it's not to say that you can't like go nuts on the Quality Street and the roses, which, by the way, the chocolate on that is horrendous now. Don't even bother.
They've got smaller. My friend sent me a picture of them today. 3 of them next to a little tiny pen.
Yeah.
And they're really tiny.
And the chocolate tastes like crap. It's cheap.
Thanks, Brexit.
Cheap as hell. Anyway, so even if you want to gorge on all that kind of stuff, I get it, but you can still go out. You can still go to the gym. You can still go running. Don't wait till January. There is no need. Why are you waiting till January?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I really do think that we should stop making January the answer to all of our problems. It's still dark. It's still cold. You may as well crack on now and get a jump on it.
Exactly, and I think a lot of people are looking to make certain qualifying championships and stuff like that their kind of ultimate goal for next year. Get on it now. You've got less than a year.
Yeah, I think looking at long-term goals is probably quite important. I mean, I know a lot of us have Tough Guy coming up in January, but we need to think, long term about where we want our fitness to be next year and how we want to feel about ourselves. Personally, I've always found it super hard to motivate myself if I don't have something in mind to go for. But realistically, I know I should be thinking of the bigger picture. I should be thinking of where I want to be next October when I go back to Worlds, or something like that, instead of or just what's happening in January, or thinking, oh well, it's off season now. I did my last run. I don't even want to call it a race because I bimbled around it carrying a bicycle at the kitchen sink race last week. So it wasn't exactly the most athletic endeavour in the world. But yeah, I need to get on and think about long term where I want to be, what I want to look like. Like, do I want to lean out? Do I want to be more muscular? Do I want to be faster? Do I want to be stronger? Yeah.
Yeah, but I think long-term goals, like you have your ultimate goal, but I think it's like a hierarchy of goals where you have that ultimate goal and you have all the little goals that go underneath, and then you can keep kind of changing those goals as and when you need to get to your ultimate goal.
Yeah.
I think that's a really good idea. I mean, I'm still working on mine and how that's going to work. I mean, my ultimate goal for Tough Guy, I think, is literally take John Albon's cold strategy, which is run as fast as possible.
I thought you were going to do like take John Albon's title.
Yes, no. I'm not that deluded.
I did say I was going to win it now that I'm Ventolin powered. I was like, yeah, I'll just beat everybody now.
No.
But I don't think that's going to happen. I did say last year I just wanted to get through it. This year I actually want to push myself through it. Because I just bimbled. I didn't get cold. I was pretty well insulated from eating.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, what were you wearing? Neoprene? I mean, what was happening there?
Yeah, I was just fat, Tough Guy, mate. And I just thought, sod it, nuts is soon, and that's going to be cold as well. I may as well crack on.
I love that. It's going to be cold. I need to insulate my body, so I'm going to eat all this crap. This is exactly what Christmas is for. It's going to help me at Tough Guy and nuts.
Yeah, nuts diet. It was amazing. I had a whale of a time. Wasn't very fast, mind. So I'm going to adopt a different strategy and just actually be fit, I think, this year. Mind you, it'll get to the 28th of January and I'll regret saying all this in a media what is recorded and available for other people to listen to. So this is my accountability, isn't it?
It is indeed.
So we've come up with lunchtime run buddies, virtual running, and long-term goals for interim sort of targets. So how easy to demotivation?
I think stop looking for motivation. Stop looking for that one thing that is good. That one, we all look at those memes and stuff on Instagram and all this kind of stuff, and it's like, okay, but it's just do it. I remember reading Scott Jurek. Can't remember what the book was called. Really enjoyed it though, and his dad, I think, asked him why he does what he does. He's like this long endurance runner, like does ridiculous, like 150 miles, and all that kind of stuff. And
that's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. And his dad, I think it was, someone asked him, why do you do it? I'm getting my story mixed up. So basically, he was making eggs or something. His dad was doing something. He said, why do you do it? You do it all the time. Like, this is your routine every time. Why do you do it? I can't understand why you do it. And he said, just because.
Eloquent.
And literally, it was just that. And I was like, oh my God, that's so true. Why you don't always have to have some massive, like, reason to just get out.
Yeah, there does not need to be a higher purpose. And I think that's why I don't relate to a lot of these sort of quotations on serene backgrounds, because I don't have a crown to straighten. I just get on with it. Like, I don't relate to them because they're so airy fairy, I think, and I'm quite a practical person. So yeah, it all gets a little bit lost on me, I'm afraid. I think though I would rather see my friends making, gains and hitting targets on social media than I would some crappy, like, photo of a river with some wispy font over the top telling me that I'm a princess or whatever. Don't relate to it at all.
No, you're definitely not a princess. You stink.
Oh, I am.
No.
Just in my own special way.
Yeah, no. Not from the fairy tales, my love. Not from the fairy tales.
So you reminded me of something when you were talking about making eggs. And bear with me, this isn't as weird as it sounds. But I also find something that motivates me is prepping. You reminded me because eggs are meals and you prep meals. It's convoluted, but we got there. Prepping, not necessarily in a sort of health food, cook everything on Sunday and get everything sorted, although that is helpful if you can be asked, which I can't. But it's prepping before you go out on a run. Like, if you are saying to yourself, I am going out at 6:30 tomorrow morning, get everything sorted before you go, the night before. Trainers, literally lay it out, make your outfit idiot proof. You get out your bed, you walk into trainers, your running gear, everything you need right there. But even down to what you're going to eat and drink after your run, so you have something to look forward to. Maybe get everything ready for your smoothie, or have your pre-made oats or whatever, or even just laying your cereal bowl out ready to go when you come back. So everything is easy to you, and it's like an easy reward. Even something so simple as just, setting your coffee machine on a timer, so you know that when you come back it's going to be ready, and you're not going to have to faff with anything. Having that nice little motivation and reward to come back to after you've done your run is lovely.
Yeah, no, I think that's a really good idea, and like getting the prep beforehand. I remember reading Charlotte Ord is a personal trainer, and she's very much into the psychology of stuff as well, not just kind of like lean out, lose weight. And I remember her writing an email, and it said, if you struggle to get out the door, just put your trainers on. And if you have got your trainers on, go walk down the road.
Yeah, you may as well.
And literally small steps. Just take it bit by bit. But yeah, to know that there was going to be like a nice hot cup of tea when I finish a run would be really impressive. I'd be really happy with that.
That's all I think about when I run. Cup of tea, cup of tea, cup of tea.
That's your mantra.
It really is my mantra. But I know that I need like an awful lot of motivation to get out of bed of a morning. I mean, even though I have a job and I have clients to get to, it is such a massive struggle, especially when I'm having like flare-ups of chronic fatigue. I can go to bed at 9 o'clock and still be pressing snooze like 10 minutes before I'm supposed to be out of the house, and it's a terrible affliction. And it's one of the reasons that when I got my dog, she was so useful to me. I won't call you it because she's sitting on my lap right now. she was so useful to me because she had to get up and she had to go out to, to go to the loo, and she had to be walked and looked after. So there was no excuse. I could not just lie in bed and malinga. So it's stuff like that. It's just having it all laid out and forcing yourself in whatever way you can.
Stop checking your dog.
I'm just looking at her because she's so pretty. I know no one can see her, but I'm just busy torturing her, the poor thing. She just wants to sleep.
Yes, she is a tortured dog.
So I think we talked about quite a few things that are motivating for December.
Indeed.
I'd like to know, to be honest, what you guys, you listeners, think, and what motivates you, and if you have any tips for people who are really struggling with their fitness routines or regimes or whatever, especially when it's wintry and Christmassy and everyone's telling you that, to indulge and forget about it until next year. Not that I have a problem with indulging, FYI.
No, it's just me, the food Nazi.
No, it's not. It's not about Christmas. It's about all year round. Like, if I'm not gonna have a cookie, it being Christmas isn't gonna make me want to have the cookie. It's if I want the damn cookie, and if I've worked for the cookie, I'm gonna eat the damn cookie. But don't let your grinchiness get in the way of actually indulging. Like, you can have whatever you want. You can eat whatever you want. Just you have to decide what's more important to you. The joy of eating something that's not that great for you or that might set you back versus the end product of your discipline, I suppose.
Is your goal worth it?
Yeah. Is it worth it? That's what I ask myself a lot before I break into spontaneous song. I held myself back that time. Oh my gosh. I'm going to reward myself with a cookie.
Hey!
Yeah. All right.
Awesome.
I feel like we've covered December demotivation.
Indeed. I think we have. I think we even Remy, I can see in the camera, is like, yeah.
We're done.
We're done.
We're done here.
Yeah.
I would like to say a very Merry Christmas to all of the Mud Queens, especially Lulu, who has just started listening, who has just got her tech on. Hi, Lulu.
Indeed, Lulu.
Merry Christmas, mate.
Indeed. Have a really good Christmas, guys. And just want to shout out to Lucy Tarrant as well, because I think she has done amazingly well in trying to sort out nearly 400 Secret Santa situations.
Yep.
And I think she's definitely going to need some indulging over Christmas.
She has worked harder than all of the elves.
Yes.
All of them.
Yes.
Even the crap ones. She's worked harder than all of them.
Indeed. So thank you very much, Lucy. I think we all massively appreciate that.
We do. It's such a nice thing. It's such a nice thing to do and such a difficult thing to organise. So she is an utter ledge.
Yeah.
Well done, Tarrant.
All right then. Well, if you are interested in getting motivated for January, then check out the Mud Queens virtual run. MQ work for it, 5 or 10 miles per week in January, leading up to Tough Guy. It's for a charity called Girls Out Loud. You can check them out at girlsoutloud.com. If I'm wrong, it will be in the notes. So, have a really good Christmas, guys.
Have a good one. Get outside.
Yeah. Goodbye.
See ya.